Hey guys, it's 5:45 a.m. on Saturday morning and I'm taking an early start today to get this video out by tomorrow morning because there's a lot to talk about in this video. There's been a lot going on lately with Tesla and there is game-changing progress being made on the battery front. In this video, we will go over a few major things that you can expect from the coming battery day. There are some indicators that Tesla may be about to revolutionize the EV industry with technologies that are considered the holy grail of electric vehicles. So get your popcorn ready and we'll be back right after this. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode on EV Source. My name is Harry and I'm your host for today's dose of EVs and technology. For a few months now, there have been rumors about Tesla working on making its own battery cells. It all started with the acquisition of Maxwell, a supercapacitor manufacturer with some battery cell technology, and Highbar, a company that specializes in making equipment to manufacture battery cells. Now, after its annual shareholders meeting, Elon confirmed that it's going to manufacture its own battery cells. And if you need further proof, a couple of months ago, Tesla started building a pilot battery cell manufacturing line in Fremont and designing its own equipment to produce the cells. And just recently, Tesla placed an order for battery making machines that will be supplied by a massive Korean industrial conglomerate, the Hanwha Group. It's one of the last steps in the process of making battery cells, which Tesla hasn't done before. To date, Tesla buys cells from Panasonic, LG Chem, and others, which they help design to make their own modules and packs. And once you piece all this information together, it's quite clear that Tesla is planning to enter the market in a big way. Vertical integration of the entire production process and having everything in-house will be a big win for Tesla, taking them yet again leaps ahead of all legacy automakers out there. And not to mention Elon hinting Tesla's interest in getting into the mining business as well.
As we scale battery production to very high levels, we actually have to look further down the supply chain, we might get into the mining business. I don't know, maybe a little bit at least.
Mining their own minerals would truly be the last step in becoming a much bigger giant than GM ever was. Tesla's business model is very different compared to other automakers such as GM, Ford, and Toyota. Where others have outsourced their supply chain, Tesla is making everything in-house. This might sound crazy at first, but if you think about it, it actually makes sense. Tesla didn't really have a choice with this since the technologies they needed either didn't exist or other suppliers just simply didn't want to work with Tesla for fears of Tesla being on the brink of bankruptcy. In Tesla's early days, it was pushed down by many public personalities and influencers in the mainstream media.
I've been saying for some time that I believe Tesla is currently on the verge of a financial crisis and will go bankrupt.
But he's yet to actually take any money and turn it into a profitable business.
I don't see the value in Tesla. We're short Tesla. He's got execution problems. He's negative cash flow. He's nowhere in autonomous driving as far as I can tell. He's building cars in a tent.
And we also know that Elon does have some documented self-medication issues that were discussed in Jim Stewart's New York Times article, and I'm not talking about marijuana.
So as you can guess, this wasn't really helping to build trust in the company, which scared off many investors and suppliers. So the journey has been very bumpy to say the least, especially with major players in the oil business lobbying against Tesla wherever and whenever possible to slow down its progress. But as long as Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla, I don't see anything slowing them down at this point. It's actually been quite the opposite if you look at all the recent development they've made. And if this wasn't enough, there's more stirring the waters to take things even further. By now, you've probably heard about the Tesla's secret project called Roadrunner. Tesla has been busy designing and developing its own battery cells and aims to use all the combined knowledge and technologies with Maxwell and Highbar to create lighter but more energy-dense cells to increase the range of their vehicles. The cells are using technologies developed by Tesla's internal teams, including work from its research lab in Canada. Tesla aims to drive down the cost on the cell level, which would mean lower priced vehicles or higher profit margin, or both. New battery technologies are known to be the key to Tesla's success. Just recently, Tesla filed a patent for a new battery cell with tabless electrode that will decrease the ohmic resistance, allowing the energy to flow more freely with less friction and less heat. And because the tabs are additional components, they increase costs, so we can expect the production of these batteries to get a lot faster and cheaper. And by the way, this isn't the only patent Tesla has filed recently. The company has been applying for a lot of intellectual property lately related to battery cells, one of which is the 1 million mile battery that Elon has been talking about lately. But more on that in just a bit. Bringing the battery costs as low as possible while increasing the cell density will eventually take electric vehicles to a level where internal combustion engine vehicles can't even compete with EVs. One thing that brings Tesla even closer to this was the acquisition of Maxwell, which was a very good strategic move by Tesla. Maxwell has patented a dry electrode technology and published a document on it back in 2018. This technology will enable Tesla to create a new generation of batteries with improved performance and longevity, shorter charging times, and lower prices. Elon has been hinting about a 1 million mile battery which they have already been testing under the secretive Roadrunner project. They've run tests on their new cells with over 4,000 charging cycles, leaving over 90% capacity after so many cycles. Currently, the existing cells and battery packs are rated at 1,000 cycles before losing about 10% of the battery pack's capacity. Now, 10% isn't much, and the batteries will continue to work and provide years of driving depending on your driving habits, of course. With the new battery technologies that Tesla is working on, they could use fewer batteries per vehicle and still achieve longer range. Not only would they be able to reduce the weight of their vehicles, but drive down the cost as well. This, coupled with mass production, would be considered the holy grail of EV adoption. Let me further elaborate on this. The average price of batteries has come down significantly over the last 10 years. It used to cost hundreds of dollars per kilowatt hour just a few years ago and over $1,000 per kilowatt hour just 10 years ago. According to Bloomberg's report, the average battery price fell to $154 per kilowatt hour in 2019. $100 per kilowatt hour has been described as the price target for batteries to enable electric vehicles to reach price parity with gasoline cars. With Maxwell's dry electrode technology and Tesla's own cell production line, they will reach this price goal and even beat it eventually. According to Bloomberg, this price parity will be reached by 2023, but knowing Elon and how he loves to accelerate things, we can expect that to happen much sooner than that. This would be the last nail on the coffin for ICE vehicles, and from there forward the price will continue to drop, making EVs just as affordable if not cheaper than current gas guzzlers. If buying an EV hasn't crossed your mind yet, it will very soon. Many people are waking up to the real potential of EVs despite their early challenges. The current lockdowns across the globe has shown clear results of what human inactivity and less polluting vehicles on the roads can do to our environment. To all those tree huggers out there, you'll be breathing much cleaner air one day when the majority of the vehicles on the road are fully electric. Nothing against tree huggers, it's just a fun term to use when talking about the environment in this context. I'm a huge supporter of environmentally friendly solutions and companies who are working hard to clean up the mess left by the earlier generations. There are a number of new companies existing today and more joining in as we move forward to make our environment safer and cleaner for everyone. The future truly does look bright, and another thing that will possibly help with reducing the number of vehicles on the road and bringing down CO2 emissions is Tesla's robotaxi service that Elon is still optimistic about getting out there by the end of 2020. Currently, it's pending regulatory approval, but personally, I don't think Tesla's FSD is ready for all open roads yet. I could be wrong since you never know what Tesla's software engineers have been quietly working on, but in order for robotaxis to actually work, Tesla would have to achieve level 5 autonomy to have driverless cars roaming around the streets without running into any problems, which I'm quite sure there will be plenty of initially. Just like with any new technology in the past, nothing came without hurdles along the way. These problems usually do get solved and technologies improve and get better over time. I believe this would be the case with Tesla's FSD. The problem is they can't really afford to run into issues that can cause the FSD rollout to be pushed back due to concerns about public safety and regulatory approval. So Tesla has to get this right, or else there can be a backlash that could hurt the company as a whole. Even though Elon tweeted stating, quote, "Functionality is still looking good for this year, regulatory approval is the big unknown." But his confidence in FSD and the timeline in which this will be achieved may be just a little bit off, as we have come to expect from his earlier predictions. But in the end, his predictions do come true. They just usually take a little longer than he expects. However, a network of robotaxis does go hand in hand with Tesla's new battery technologies that would allow vehicles to last over 1 million miles with very little battery degradation. These batteries would allow Tesla vehicles in the robotaxi network to be driven over 10 years with 100,000 miles per year per vehicle and still see only 10% or less loss of capacity in their battery packs. Now this is huge when we talk about vehicles that are almost constantly being driven, moving people and cargo around. Even if you don't include your vehicle in the robotaxi network, your vehicle could easily be passed on from one generation to another with very minor maintenance along the way. Tesla is building products that last a long time with very little maintenance, whereas other automakers have been making vehicles to last a lot less with a lot more maintenance throughout the lifespan of the vehicle to make as much profit as possible. The contrast between Tesla and legacy automakers is enormous, and they would have to make big changes to even catch up with Tesla at this point. Better batteries are not only highly complementary to robotaxis, but will also aid in Tesla's battery storage projects that would bring in more electric utility companies and contracts, or selling a home storage battery to average consumers by bringing down the costs, enabling more people to gain access to its battery products. Either way, it's a win-win to the average consumer, and it's starting to look like Tesla is winning the game in every frontier. Tesla may have power and control over the economy on a large scale one day. Let's just hope they use this power wisely. As Peter Parker's uncle said,
"Remember, with great power comes great responsibility."
To sum it all up, I think we can expect Tesla to reveal a new generation of batteries that may likely be at least 30% better in cell density and offer shorter charging times. Battery degradation should also see major improvements, allowing over 4,000 charging cycles while losing less than 10% of the battery pack's capacity. And finally, we can also expect Tesla to announce further steps in vertical integration with in-house battery cell manufacturing. Let me know what you guys think about this episode in a comment below, and like and subscribe if you haven't already, and help others discover the awesome world of Tesla by sharing this forward. And as always, keep charging ahead, and I'll see you on the next one. Stay safe and take care.